Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. So we are doing a lap book, and since I have already recorded this, I already have my lap book started. But you have a lap book. This is the inside, and this is the front cover. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this and this, and you have a picture that is either a boy or a girl. Now I intended to send Braylon and Micaiah home with the girls and Gage and Leon home with the boys. So cut out your boy or your girl and glue it on right here. It says All About Weather Lap Book, and then there's a place for your name right here. So you glue on you cut on the black lines, and that's why I sent that stick glue home with you. So you could not have to use the the runny glue from the bottles, because it just doesn't work as well. For some things it's needed, but for this I think the stick glue will work better. So cut out your boy or your girl and glue that onto the front cover of your book on this side. Pause your video and get that job done, and then come back and I'm going to show you how to do the other side. I'm going to do it again. Okay, so pause your video and do that one, and then come back. Alright, so you have already, I've got something on my face. You have already paused your video. Now you have a piece that looks like this. Now do you see it has little dotted lines on the side? Do not cut the dotted lines. No, do not cut the dotted lines. Cut on the outside, the black line. Do not cut the dotted lines. Cut on the black line. So I've got to get my scissors. I think I forgot to get them out. I'll be right back. Nothing like having your teacher leave the screen. All right, so we're going to cut this out on the black lines, not on the dotted. I'm just going to go around the outside of the rectangle. So I am cutting mine. You are cutting yours. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a little lap book, weather book. So we're going to be studying weather. We're having a lot of yucky weather right now. So now we have this. And where we have the flaps, I want you to fold it back. Okay, fold it on that flap. The flap is going to go to the back. Fold it back like that. Okay, back like that. Go all the way down. And just press. Press it tightly. Press it tightly. Press it tightly. So now I have one flap folded back. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to fold on that dotted line. That is an indicator where to fold. So I'm going to fold it on the dotted line. Right on that dotted line is where I'm folding. Pressing and folding. Pressing and folding. Okay. Now, I've got this to the back. It looks like this on the front. Okay. So what these little flaps are for are your glue. Do not glue this. Only glue these edges. Only these edges, okay? That's the only place you want glue. No glue up here. No glue here. No glue under there. Glue on the edges, just like this. You've got your stick glue, but I've got my bottle glue. So I'm going to glue only on that edge, on the folded part, not on the edge of it, just on the fold. Folded piece of paper. Okay. So these are my folded pieces of paper, and they've got glue on them. Okay. And I'm going to lay that down on my book. I've already done one, but this is how you do it. You lay it down on your book. Let me get where you can see it actually. You just lay it down on there and press. Okay, so only thing that's going to be sticking are these flaps. Okay, your little flaps are going to stick. Get that all pressed down. Now you've got your temperature, it's not temperature really. It's kind of temperature, it's not number temperature, it's just words. Can you read the words to Mama? I wished I could hear you read them. The first one is easy. What does it say? Hot. The next one says war, W-A-R. We haven't learned it yet. It says war. Warm. You know what the next one says? Mild. Cool. Cold. Freeze. Okay. So when you get it cut out, it's going to look like this. Okay. And I have one that I already cut out. Okay. Now, you're going to take your little place that has a hole up here. There's going to be one little part that you press down and one part you lift up. From the bottom, you put the pull in there. Goes by the window. And then when you come out to the other side, hold this little piece down so that it comes out like that. Okay, and it'll just come right out and it'll slide. And so you can put it up or put it down. And you have to put it on what you think today's weather feels like. So earlier, I went outside. So let's see if we can do that again. So it might be feeling different than it did this morning, but that's okay. Let's see, I've got cords going around everywhere, so I gotta get them untangled. And gotta take my mic. Let's go. All right, open out the door. Oh, the dog, she can come out. All right, so what does it feel like outside on your back porch? Does it feel cold, freezing, mild? I think it still feels mild. It's really not hot. It's really not cold. It's just kind of in between. I would just say it's mild. And it is very cloudy and rainy looking, but mild. All right, we'll go back in. So we're going to set our temperature gauge on to mild. You can make it through all that wiggle. Let me close my back door. All right. So I'm going to set mine to mild. See, it shows mild, M-I-L-D, mild. And every day we can adjust it to match what the weather is. Then we have a piece, yours might be a different color because we're just working with what we have. It says weather and climate. So we're going to cut that out. Okay, stay on the outside of the black lines. Do not cut the little dotted lines. They are our folding indicators. Do not cut them. If you cut them, I'm going to mess up your book. You'll have to tape them back if you accidentally cut them. Go around the outside. See how I'm going around the outside of the black lines? The dark black lines. Okay. So Miss Amy's kind of fast. If you need to pause the video, just pause the video. That's fine. My cat wants to play with the scraps. So I have a piece that looks like this. And it has words on either end of it. So I'm going to take the word, and where it has a dotted line right there, I'm going to fold it right on that dotted line. Okay, so I'm going to fold it right on that dotted line. Okay, now I'm going to fold this one on this dotted line. You see it? I'm going to press it right there. So I want both of them to come to the front. So it's going to make a little miniature book. If I open it up, there's nothing on the inside. If I close it, it says weather and climate. I'm going to open it again. This is this side. And it looks like that. Okay. So this is where you're going to put all of your glue. Now our folder is a little bit smaller than the one they asked for, a manila folder, but this is what we had. So we're going to glue it down right here on the back. I already glued this one, but you're going to put the glue right on here and glue it down to your folder. Glue it down to your folder, okay? Anywhere on the back should be okay. We might have to put some more stuff on the back, but that'll be okay. So when you get it glued down, then you've got a white piece of paper, and I forgot to reprint that. The white piece of paper has a rectangle box that says climate, and it has a rectangle box that says weather, and they look like this. Okay, They are our definitions. They're going to go inside here. So that you cut them and you leave the dots on there. You just cut on the outside of the dots. And the one that says climate goes on the door of the climate. You put it right up next to the fold. The one that says weather matches the outside that says weather. You put it right up next to the fold. See, the tab doesn't have anything on it. It's right up next to the fold. Glue it and lay it on there. Then the big square one, you put right here. All right, so while you're doing that, I'm going to read them to you. Climate is the average weather for a region or a place. And notice it says long term. That means like a whole year. Weather is the condition of the atmosphere on any given day. That is short term. So when I want to know the weather, I have a Google Dot in my room about this big. You may have another one. I think it's called Alexa. You can talk to Alexa. So I say, hey Google, what's the weather today? And Google will say, this morning she said, well, the weather today will be cloudy with a high of 70 and a low of 60. And I believe she said the weather right now is 69. The temperature right now is 69 degrees. So that is a weather report is given daily. What does the weather look like today? Is it going to be cloudy? Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be windy? Is it going to be partly cloudy? Are there going to be storms today? That's the weather. The weather can only go out for about a week. If they go much further, it's not real accurate. And sometimes for a week, it's not accurate. So they give the weather every day. You can watch a weather report. What you want to look at climate is if you want to move to an area or study an area, just like we're studying South America, and we want to know what is the weather like year-round. What is the summer like? What is the fall like every year? So if we gave a climate report for Texas, every year the summer is hot. Every year. That's the climate. Hot and dry. The winter is mild. We don't have many 0-degree days. We have a lot of 30-degree days. We don't have any snow. So we call that a mild winter. That's our climate. Mild winters, hot summers. Sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's not. We don't get just a whole lot of rain in Texas. That's the climate. So if I were living in Alabama or Georgia or Tennessee or Washington and I wanted to think about moving to Texas, I might want to check out the climate. What is it going to be like there? Well, it's going to be hot and dry, and it's going to be warm in the spring and warm in the fall and just a little bit cold in the winter. Every year, same thing. What is that called? Climate. And what happens daily is called the weather. All right, so you should have those glued in by now. So you can just pause your video if you need to. And it says on the middle, both of these refer to temperature, climate and weather. Both refer to temperature. Weather is what the temperature is today. Climate is what is the year-long average temperatures. Climate dictates the weather of a place. So if you have a hot, dry climate, your weather is going to be hot and dry. If you have a cold, rainy climate, your weather is going to be cold and rainy most of the time. Climate is for long term, weather is for short term. All right, that is all we are going to do today is just get our book started and just start talking about weather. Tomorrow we are going to learn about storms. And so actually, this is Monday. I am so confused on what day I'm recording. So Tuesday we will learn about storms. That is all I have for you today, and I hope you have a good afternoon.